Hey YouTube, out here at the bee yard today, J6 honeybees. It is Sunday morning and it is pretty, but it's gonna get hot later. It's probably 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. We last week we moved all of our swarm traps from the deer stands and trees, moved them all out here to the bee yard. So they're all there now. We had 3 of them out and they're all 3 got bees in them. I'm a little worried about that little gray one, and there's another one there that the orange one next to the gray one that I'm worried about also. Looks like they're a little short on bees. I'm not feeding them. The reason I'm not feeding them is because I have honey supers on right now, and I don't want that sugar water in my honey, so it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm sad to say there's been a horrible accident out here on the ranch today. I left that, if any of you remember my video on the using the big shooter bow target as a deer decoy. Happened to leave that deer laying out in the yard. He got eaten by a dog. It's just so horrible. Oh, the tragedy. My daughter's dog got a hold of it and chewed its face off. It's just, oh. So I think I'll suit up for this one today. I don't know, my experience, I've always had, when I'm pulling honey, the bees seem to be a little bit more angry. Well, I guess this is a suit shirt, so I am suiting up. But no, I'll repurpose my old clothes. This is a shirt that goes to a suit that got stains on it, so I wear it for beekeeping now. The girls like it when I dress up for them. Boy, the sun's bright today. But no, when I pull honey, I seem to get more aggression from the bees, and for good reason. I would get pretty upset if somebody came in my house and stole everything too. So you'll be seeing me in gloves and a long sleeve shirt today on this video, because I am planning on doing that while I'm in the bees. So you know, I see so many people, for you fat guys, and they take their strings and they wrap them around and they do this and they do that, and then they tie it. And take your strings like this, run them under your legs, catch that thing there, string out, and then just, it's a lot easier that way. It works better for me anyways. I hope it works good for you. Man, it is hot. I didn't show myself pulling a honey super just now. It's not a honey super, but a super. Let me see if I can turn you guys around. I took that super off that box there, and they're pretty hot about it. They don't like it. But I had me a mess by doing it. I had a frame that wasn't totally capped off, and I wanted to take it because it had good pollen in it, and I like a lot of pollen in my honey. People seem to like the honey for their allergies. Anyways, I went to shake the frame to make sure that it was dried out enough, and I did. I didn't realize this frame didn't have foundation in it. Drop that right off onto the hive. But I salvaged it. I'll crush it and strain it, and it'll be good to go. All right, so for the first time in my beekeeping, whatever you want to call it, can't call it a career because I don't ever make money. I spend the money that I make on beekeeping. But anyways, for the first time I've used a honey extractor. This was the cheapest honey extractor on Amazon, and I can't remember exactly what we paid for it. I have to look back at the video. I think it was just under $100. There's some good and bad with it. It's done a good job. There's a learning curve that I didn't know, that I probably should have done some more research on it. I found that if I would extract a little bit out of the side of the first side of the frame and then turn the frame over and extract the rest. It didn't throw out of balance as easy, and it would do pretty good. So I took the lid off of it there, and so I can show you what it worked done inside. I don't know if you can see in there, but I've got, I don't know, 3 gallons of honey, maybe 2.5 in there. It done well, it done good. What the problems I had wasn't the extractor's fault. It was my own fault for using frames that had foundationless comb. You can't really do that. I guess you can, because I did, but I ended up with a lot more wax cappings than I wanted, and I had to end up crushing and straining a lot of comb because they ended up starting to break up, and I didn't want them falling into the extractor and cause me a mess. So here's the frames that I extracted. It looks real rough because it was rough. Some of the frames I had this black foundation in it. That's what I originally started with way back when years and years and years ago, and there's just a few that still had some left. But you can see, like this frame that you're looking at here, that frame busted, and or the comb busted, so I had to peel it out and crush it and extract it. But some of the frames did really well. So it's a live and learn. I learned something today. I learned a lot today, actually, extracting with the honey extractor. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think a person could go wrong buying that extractor. That extractor was named Gototop. It's a Chinese extractor. That goes against my grain a little bit too, but you know, for $100, it's worth having. I'm planning on going to a different type of foundation. I'm going to go to Right Cell Foundation. I bought 30 pieces of foundation and 30 new frames. I'm going to start switching out some of my honey supers, or what I use honey supers. It's just a deep super is what I use for honey, but I'm gonna start switching them out and start using them. This that I'm talking about, it's can I get it in the video there? It's plastic. It's really heavy coated in wax, and it's gonna hold my frames together a lot better. Be able to put them in the honey extractor and they won't come falling apart on me. So that's that. That's my take on the Gototop honey extractor, cheapest honey extractor on Amazon. It did well. It done what it's supposed to do. Maybe a little too well. I was able to spin it fast enough that I blew comb all over if I wanted to. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying a cheap extractor, go ahead and do it. I think it's a lot better method than the crush and strain method that I've used in the past, and it's going to be easier on the bees. All right, well, it's been a good day of extracting honey out here at the bee yard, getting ready to put them back together. I've got everything laid out on the trailer so the bees can clean it up. That's the easiest way to clean up after you extract honey, is to lay everything you used out on a trailer and let them take the honey out of it, clean it all back up, and make everything a lot less of a sticky job. I replaced a lot of those frames that I was telling you guys about with frames that have plastic drawn comb or waxed plastic, so that they can draw it out, and some of them are still the drawn comb that they had. If I can get one out, you can see there that I use rubber bands to hold the comb together, and they've pretty much cleaned it out. A lot of what's left here, if you guys notice that my frames are like this, they've put a lot of pollen in there, and you get a lot of that in your honey when you do crush comb, or you crush it and strain it. But we're extracting now, and maybe it'll be a better way, I don't know. But thanks for watching, and it's been a good day. We got about 3.5 gallons of honey, close to 4 out of that one deep super. We'll bottle it up, Get it out there for everybody. See you next time.